Greetings, peace and blessings, loved ones. I hope you all are doing well, you and your families. Thank you for joining me. My name is John Tay Grace, and tonight I am going to be cleaning my G3 pistol. I figured I would record it this time because I'm trying to do more gun content for my page, and so I try to clean my pistol at least every 2 weeks. If I go to the range, then I have to clean it after I shoot, just because I don't want that carbon to build up. But before I get started, I just wanted to thank you all, and please ask that you either like, subscribe, and please comment. Please interact with me. Let me know what you think, and let me know where you're checking in from. I appreciate it. So, before I get started, I am going to go through all of the tools that I am going to use. So, first of all, we got the strap. This is a Taurus G3, and I've had this for about 6 months now. I've put approximately 1,000 rounds through it. And so it's starting to get broken in. You know, they say that, you definitely want to put about 1,000 rounds through your pistol before you can start to monitor, to see how it's improving. And I have a cleaning kit here. This is what I'm using. I am using Hops 9. Oh, you can't really see that because of the glare. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Let me open this up. So I'm using Hops 9 lubricating gun oil, and then I will be using Hops number 9 bore cleaner. That's what this is. So this is going to be the main cleaner, and this will be the lubricating oil. My other tools here, these are just, I got some patches that I'll be using to get through the to wipe off and get through all of that carbon, get all of that carbon buildup down there. So I have some patches here. This will be kind of a scrubber. This will be the scrubbing brush that I'll use to kind of get that carbon buildup, the dust and the dirt out of those crevices. And then just a standard toothbrush and some hot water. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't really need a lot to clean your pistol. And I just want to be clear and say that I am by no means an expert gunsmith or shooter. I am very much a beginner. I wouldn't even consider myself a novice. I consider myself a beginner. This is my first pistol that I've ever owned, my first gun that I've ever owned at all, and so I'm very much learning with you, and so I'm really just trying to document my steps as I grow and as I learn, and once I start to get more guns and eventually evolve into rifles and things like that. I just want to document that journey. So I thank you all for rocking with me. And with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to clear my workspace, but the first thing that I want to do is you always want to make sure that you check your gun to make sure that it is clear. As you can see here, it's empty, but I am going to clear it for the camera's purposes. So now you can see the gun locked back. There is no round in the chamber. And so, yeah, so I am going to release the slide, take that out. So now you see. All righty. So now I'm going to put down a towel for all of this stuff, so that way I don't mess up my table. I did finance this dining room table, so I want to protect it, So let's get all of my stuff onto here. Let's move this up a little bit so you can see my workspace. There we go. Bam. All right. I'm trying to make sure that I'm staying in the frame of the... There we go. Staying in the frame. All righty. So set the magazine aside for a second. What I want to do is I got hot water in this cup. I want to mix it with a little bit of this bore cleaner. And it looks like I'm running low on the bore cleaner, so I'm going to have to get some more in a little while. But I got enough for my needs now. So just going to pour a little bit into there. As you can see. I'm going to wipe my hands off, and also what I'm going to do is I am going to wear some gloves, because this stuff that we are going to be dealing with is nasty chemicals. If you read the warning signs on here, you will see that all of those warnings that say known to the state of California to cause cancer, you might want to pay attention to that. So we're going to wear a rubber. See that? Bam. All right. So I'm going to mix this up a little bit, just so that way we have a nice little cleaning solution. All right. Move this off to the side. Now, it's time to disassemble our pistol. Okay? So, I'm trying to get close to the camera so you can see it. So, what I'm going to do, the Taurus has takedown levers on each side. One right here, one right there. In order to disassemble the slide of the Taurus, what you want to do is you want to pull the slide back slightly. And once you pull it back probably a quarter of an inch, then you want to pull down the takedown levers. And then you let it go and pull the trigger. And what that will do is that will allow the slide to slide off. There we go. Right? So now we have our pistol frame, and we're going to set this aside because I still have my red beam laser attached to it. So I didn't take that off. As you can see, still got my laser attached. So I don't want to get that wet. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I will clean that separately. But now you see we have our pistol slide here. And with our pistol slide, it is composed of 3 major components. The first one we're going to take out right here is the recoil spring. So once we take the recoil spring out, pull that out, set that up to the side. And then underneath the recoil spring, then you have the barrel. This is where the magic happens. So this is what we're going to be focusing on and what we're going to be cleaning. As you can see, this is the main component. And this is what makes up the major components of a pistol. As you can see, this is what it is right here. Got the frame right here. Got the slide right here. Got the recoil spring right here. And we got the barrel right here. Yeah, so that is the major components of my pistol. And now I am going to drop the recoil spring into, I'm going to just soak it in this water cleaner solution just for a little while, just for a moment. Drop that in there, let that marinate for just a second. While I'm doing that, I am going to take my toothbrush here, and I am going to just brush off the carbon or whatever buildup, whatever residue that you can see. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get a better angle. There we go. There we go. Okay. So, I'm gonna brush that off. I'm wondering why that's looking like that. But I'm gonna just roll with it. Get that toothbrush. And the object is to really just get the big pieces of residue and carbon off. Like, you don't need to try to get this thing to be like clean enough to eat off. All the instructional videos that I've seen about cleaning your pistol, especially when it comes to the bore, or the barrel, you just want to get the big pieces of carbon off. You don't want to try to scrub it to be spotless and shiny, squeaky clean, because guns, by their nature, are going to be dirty. And you actually want to leave a light film of a lubricant on the main surfaces that the gun is going to be having in contact with the bullets. So you actually don't want it to be like 100% squeaky clean. So let me just continue on. And I am going to pause so that way I can change my water out. So give me just 1 second, guys. I will be right back. If I can pause. Oh, doesn't look like I can. All right. Well, just got to do it the old school way. Be right back, y'all. Alrighty. So, I'm going to get a little bit more of this bore cleaner. And I'm going to just pour just a little bit into this little container right here. Alright. And now I got my bore that I can sit in there to just let it soak for just a little bit. And so now I'm going to clean off my recoil spring. And with that, it's just a little scrubbing. Just a little scrubbing. You don't have to, try to get it smooth as, a baby's bottom. You just want to get all of the main pieces of dirt, grit, sand, carbon, buildup, and residue out of there. That's what you really want to aim for. Yep. See? Once that's done, I'm going to set that one in there also. So those stay in there. Now I'm going to move on to the slide. All right. So here with the slide, you really just want to get down into these crevices that along the areas that the metal makes contact with the metal. Those are the areas that you want to clean off. So as I'm cleaning, I just want to scrub down in here. Put that one over here. Now I'm going to take my bore and I'm going to screw it onto my stick here. This one, I'm going to dip this one into the bore cleaner as well, just to get a little bit. And now I'm going to Work that through the slide. All the areas of the slide where these nooks and crannies, these hard to get areas, just go ahead and just scrub that through there. So you want to get in all these areas, especially around your ejection port where the bullet casings come out, because you want to make sure that there's no buildup there, so nothing gets, no rounds get locked in there or jammed. The difference between a jam and a misfire and a shot when you need it is cleaning your weapon, making sure your weapon is clean and lubricated. So that's what we want to do. So after you get that, then I'm just going to take one of my patches, right? And I'm just going to rub this down. Try to rub off all of this excess cleaning solution and all of that. Rub that down. All right. Want to get in all of those hard to reach areas, and once you start to look at the patches, you'll get to see that there are some dirt. You'll see the dirt that gets caught up in there, so you'll see that, yeah, you're actually getting a lot of that grime out of there, and that's exactly what you want to do. If you don't get it all the way clean, it's all right, because we still have to go through with the lubricant. So we're going to go through here again in a moment. All right. So we got the slide clean. Now we are going to clean our barrel on the inside. We let it soak in the solution. And so now it's time to clean our barrel on the inside. In order to do that, what we're going to do, we're going to take one of these patches, and we're going to take off the scrubbing brush from out of here, and we're going to put on this one. This one holds, this little tool here, it will hold the patch so you can run it through the barrel. See, what you do is you stick it through like so. And you pull it through the other side. If I can get it. There we go. Pull it through the other side, so now you have something that is something you can run through. And just want to dip it slightly in the bore cleaner, and then it is the natural motion that men and women have gone through from the beginning of time. See, stick it through and run it all the way through, back and forth. Should be used to this motion, back and forth. And as you run it through, you will see that it will pick up a lot of residue, debris, all of those things. So as you're running it through, you want to maybe spin it while you have it inside of there, so it'll wipe off the barrel, wipe off the insides of the barrel. The barrel is, what do you call it? Spiraled. So you definitely want to get that down in all of those crevices and pull that out. See, look at that. Oh, you can't really see it, but it's much dirtier than it was when we put it in. All right, so now we got our barrel, and for good measure, we're just going to scrub off the outside of our barrel one more again. Make sure that our feed ramp right here is free of residue, and our outside, all of the places where the metal makes contact with other metal, and you can see them, you can see the serrations where the metal touches the metal. So those lines right there that go down the barrel, that's from where this slide is. When you shoot it and the slide goes back like that, you'll rub against the barrel. So you just want to make sure that you are scrubbing around the edges of those. You'll be all good. We're almost done, y'all. Set that to the side, and we're just going to rub it down with some patches. And next, we're going to do the same thing to our recoil spring. And this one's a little bit tougher because it has the spring around it. So I think I'm just going to leave that one since it's been soaking. I think it's clean enough. Next is the last part, the slot or the frame. So we are just going to dip a little bit of this patch in there, and we're just going to rub it through all of the different areas of the slide or the frame. And I will use the scrubbing brush again, just to make sure that I get down in all of these little hard to reach areas. You do kind of want to wipe down the magazine well, but you don't want to get it too wet down in there because it'll be hard to dry off. And then once you put your magazines in there, after you've dried off the rest of your pistol, you'll notice that your magazines and your bullets will still have lubricant and residue on them. So be careful with the mag well. And just scrubbing down in there, getting all of that, any excess residue off of there. Making sure all of the metal on metal parts are being brushed off, brushed clean of any types of carbon or any types of buildup. That back area. All right. And I didn't get it too wet because I didn't want to ruin my laser beam that I have on there. All right, so after this, now we're just going to dry it off and lubricate, and we'll be all done. Give me just 1 second. All right, so we have cleaned, we have scrubbed, and now it is time to lubricate and put our weapon back together. So I'm going to start with the recoil spring. I got a towel, and I am just going to wipe off all of the excess cleaning solution. Get all of that off of there. Dry that off. Make sure that's nice and dry. Set that to the side. All right. Now, take the barrel. Wipe the barrel off. Make sure that's nice and dry. Set that to the side. Now, when it comes to the frame, we still have some cleaning solution on there, so we just want to take that, wipe it off, wipe all of these areas off with the patches, all that off. Make sure that we are getting all of the cleaning solution off of there. All right. Okay, set that to the side. Now, it's time to lubricate. I used to use this Hops number 9, the lubricating gun oil, but I found one that I like a little bit more, and this is Lucas Oil Products Extreme Duty Gun Oil. Let me see if I can get that to in the frame there. There you go. Yeah, Lucas Extreme Duty Gun Oil, and I know that that's not in frame, but looks a little bit. There we go. But anyway, I like this stuff, man, especially because it has this really fine applicator tip, so you can just spray it, or not spray it, you can just kind of dab it onto these easy to or hard to reach areas. So you just dab a couple of drops in there. That's it. That's all you need. All of the slide areas where the frame slides against the slide barrel, put some lubrication on all of those areas. And then with the applicator, you just want to rub it through a little bit, just so that way it'll spread out a little. And yeah, that's what you want to do. Set that one to the side. Now, take a little bit of lube and just kind of put it up and down the recoil spring. That one, we'll spread it out as we put the pistol back together and reassemble it. So don't worry about trying to spread out the recoil spring or the lubrication on the recoil spring. So now that we have our slide, we just want to put some along the entire railing of the slide. You see that? So a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. Do the same thing to the other side. A little bit here, there, there, and there. Now all of these, you can just kind of rub them along together. All right, and now for the barrel. All we want to do is just put a little bit along the outside of the barrel, and you can just rub it along with your finger. Just take it, just kind of spread it out, just a little thin layer. You want some lubrication is good. Some wetness is actually desired, because you want your gun, when it cycles and when it is cocking back and when it's ejecting rounds and all that stuff, you want it to be lubricated. You don't want it to be so dry that the parts grind against each other. So you do want to have a little bit of lubrication on there. So we're just going to spread that around. Alrighty, and I'm going to take this one off, that old patch, put a new patch on here. And I'm going to put a little bit of lube in this patch and run it through the barrel. There you go. Now you got a little bit of lubrication on the inner side, on the inner surface of the barrel, the outer surface of the barrel, and now we are ready to reassemble our weapon. Before I do that, I just want to wipe down any excess lubrication that may be on the slide here. So that's why I'm taking this patch and just kind of rubbing it through, just to make sure that any excess just gets absorbed, but that it stays with a light coating of lubrication. Light coating of oil. You may notice that I didn't clean my magazines. You can scrub them if you feel that if you see that they start to get some residue on them from the gas that gets ejected when you're firing, when you fire a lot. But you know, I don't really see a need to clean your magazines unless you notice that they are dirty and that they have excess residue on them. So, all right. Now, let's reassemble and let's put it back together. Got our slide, and we're going to take our barrel, drop our barrel into the slide. Oh, let's do this where you can see it. There we go. We're going to take our barrel, drop it into the slide, like so. Like that. Then, we're going to take our recoil spring, slide it in on top of the barrel, lock it in place like so, and then we have a completely assembled slide. And now we're just going to line it back up with our frame. And now we have a fully functional pistol again. And let's make sure that we cock it back several times because we want that grease to spread all through the recoil spring and the slide. So you want to do this several times because as you can see, you can see that there's still lubrication in the barrel, and that's rubbing against the inner portion of the slide, and it's spreading it all throughout the gun again. So you want to do that several times. You may even also want to lock it back, lock your slide back, take a look, do a visual inspection, see if you have any excess in there. Looks like I do have some excess, so I'm going to take my patch and just kind of rub a lot of this excess off of the recoil spring, just so that way we don't have any leakage there. But yeah, now we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a completely cleaned, lubricated, and ready to store and fire G3 9mm pistol. Look at that. That thing is beautiful, ain't it? Yes, sir. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We cleaned, we lubricated, we scrubbed our surfaces. We got all of the residue and the carbon buildups out of our pistol, and we got it done in 30 minutes, y'all. Good job. That's about how long you want to take. You don't, like I said, you don't want to spend excess time scrubbing, excess time, wiping down and, all of that. It doesn't do any more good once you scrub it past a certain point. Right? So you just want to do pistol maintenance. Pistols are like car engines. They're made to get dirty, to kind of to run. They're made to take a lot of punishment, put it that way. Okay? So you don't have to baby it. All you have to do is make sure that it has a base level of lubrication, just so that way the moving parts can function against each other, and the gun will pretty much take care of itself. So with that being said, y'all, make sure you wash your hands. Make sure you wear gloves when you're working with these chemicals, because these chemicals they contain lead, mercury, all of those nasty things. I've seen people on YouTube cleaning their guns with their bare hands, and I'm just like, cringe factor 9,000. But Some people are Army. They do it the way they do it. If you serve, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. But in my journey, I am learning to try to do things safely. So, with that being said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Please like, please subscribe, and I will catch you when I head to the range, y'all. Peace out.